Well, it looks like Gracie, my little sous chef kitty, has been at it again. Getting ready for a little simple supper tonight. And it doesn't always have to be extravagant, or noteworthy, or suitable for TikTok. It's just got to be something that'll warm you up, fill you up, and give you that down-home feeling on a cold winter night. And let's see what she's got. And she's got a couple of my favorite slices of Dutch Farms American cheese. Oh yeah, some Campbell's tomato bisque soup. Oh, that'll be yummy. Oh, season it up with a little thyme, little basil to brighten it up, some garlic powder, and some onion powder. Ooh, gotta have the onion. And of course, my favorite bread. She's already got our old soup pot on the stove. I've been toting that thing around for 45 years. And she's got a little fry pan, probably to make the grilled cheese. So yeah, we're gonna have to get set up here and get to cooking on. Well, I don't think I can add anything to it. That'll be just fine. Simple, enjoyable, warm us up, and remind us of home when Mama used to make up just some good old Campbell's tomato soup and a white bread grilled cheese. Everything would be right in our world. Oh, well, hello there, friends and family. Once again, I didn't see you walk in. And I didn't hear you knock. Glad you got by the kitty crew. Because you know, you're always welcome here in the little old country kitchen. And I guess you see what we're up to, what Gracie's got set out. So if you'd like, pull up a chair, grab a snack and a cold drink, and sit back. Let's put something simple together tonight. Just a simple soup and a grilled cheese. An American classic for those cold winter eves. So yeah, it's just a simple meal tonight. Like I said, you know, in this days of social media and all that, seems like everything's got to be complicated and ever so special. But real life's not always that way. So yeah, we're just going to drop in the tomato bisque. And if you haven't had this, may I recommend it to you. It's quite fine. Of course, if all you've got is a regular tomato soup, that'll work too. But if you can, look it up. Read the contents. It's different. And therefore, why it's so tasty too. There we go. And we're just gonna make it like the directions on the can, except we're gonna spice it up. Make it our own. Which to make it our own, we gotta add a can of water to it, because it's condensed soup. And there we go. Pretty much all gone. Turn our fire on very low, because we don't want it to burn. We're just going to put a low flame, about a 1 on my burner. And then we're going to start spicing it on up. And if you're familiar with thyme, that'll go just fine with tomato. Just put a few sprinkles in it. You can always adjust later on. And who doesn't know, basil brightens up the tomato flavor. A little bit of that too. Of course, if you wanted to, you can put oregano in it. That works too. And anytime you're dealing with tomatoes, you got to have a little garlic. Not much. Just a sprinkle or so. Don't want to overwhelm it. And you know how much we love our onion. Yeah, a little sprinkle of that in there too. Here again, just a touch. Not too much. And I know one thing she forgot that we just gotta have. And that's a little bit of pure ground pepper in there to give it that little bite. You know what I mean. That peppery bite. And that's all there is to it. Now we're just going to incorporate those spices on in. And it'll take a minute to get them all wetted and get them incorporated into that luscious, creamy Campbell's tomato bisque soup. And we're just going to let that start to heat on up. And it's got little tiny chunks of tomato in it. And you could add a little bit more if you had them on hand. But try to get all those herbs and spices incorporated in off the sides of the pan. Yeah, they're going to tend to stick when they're dry. But once they wet up, they stay on in the soup where they'll flavor it all up. And that's all we're going to do. And we're going to transfer burners. Put our little lid on lightly. And we're going to transfer that to our simmer burner back there. And the reason we're putting it on the simmer burner is so it won't burn. Next up, our little deluxe magic fry pan that was sent to us by a sweet friend and family member of mine that I hope is staying warm up in the mountains in PA. Now we have to make up our grilled cheese. And I'm going to be making two with just some plain white bread, just like Mama used to. And it's so simple. We take out our American cheese. Nope, this is not a artificial cheese food. It's actual American cheese from Dutch farms made with skim milk. I read the packages, so I know. But there's no shame. If you can only buy the cheese food and that's all you got, go for it. Because these are made to dip in the soup. And something Mama always did and we grew up with. Maybe you do it, maybe you don't. She'd put a little bit of yellow mustard right in our grilled cheese. Yes, she would. Not a lot. Just a little, just to give it some tang and wang. Just like that. Once she had the mustard on there, the next thing she would do is she'd place on the top. Just like that. Simple and elegant. There you go. But she wouldn't be through yet. Because then she'd take out some butter or margarine. I'm using Parquet. Made with real milk. And she just butter up one side first. Here again, not a lot. Just a thin coating of that luscious Parquet. Right there. Now you might wonder, what about the other side? Well, we'll do that once we get them in the pan. And there you go. That would be it. Simple, but let me tell you, delicious grilled cheese. But of course, we got to check on our soup. See if it's heating up nicely. Ooh, I can tell you what, it's starting to smell right. Yes, it is. Coming up slowly. That's the key. Now we'll start heating up our frying pan right on medium. Let's get you over closer where you can see what we got going on. Can you see that pan? And one thing I've learned to do is take my cheese out ahead of time, no matter what kind you use. Let it come up to room temp. That way it melts before your bread burns. We're just going to lay that on in there. Give it a little roly around. And dress up that top with a little more butter or Parquet. Whichever you got. Just like that. See? Simple. Nothing hard to this. And we're just gonna let it brown. And the cheese melt. That's all there is to this. You've probably done this hundreds of times. But if you haven't, now you'll know. You know the hard part with these is knowing when you got that side all nice and toasty without wrecking your sandwich. Like I almost did. So we better smash it on down before we give it a flip. Let's just see. It's been a while since I made these. Look at that. Ain't been that long. Listen to that, baby. Woo, that crust. That's almost perfect, ain't it? It just takes a few minutes per side. And by then, your room temperature cheese has melted so fine and nicely. I love these little meals that remind me of home. Up in PA, it'd be so cold outside, 3 or 4 foot snow on the ground up in the high mountains. Yeah, times were harder then. We didn't have all the food we have now. And I can remember many times my great-grandma, my grandma, and my mama, they'd make up some soup and simple grilled cheese. And we'd be so happy. Yes, we would. If your smeller's working fine, you can almost smell when that bread is toasted just right. Yes, you can. Let's see. Whoop. Yeah, it almost got too dark, but I'll take it. And in goes the second one. Woo, we're going to be eating fine. We'll turn that pan down since it's finally got heated up. Let's check the soup. Oh yeah, starting to steam. That's just what we wanted. I don't know if y'all can see it steaming over there, but it surely is. And smell it. Marvelous. We'll turn her down to low. Let's give this one a little smack. And don't forget to show it a little more love. And butter it up. Just like that. Flip again. There we go. We're getting good at this. You know what they say. Practice makes perfect. That smell's coming again. Woo. Let's see. Yeah. Just a touch more on each side, don't you think? For a little more color. Not much. Just some. No, most would call that near perfect. I'm going to say good enough, because I am hungry. What do y'all think? Do y'all enjoy a good crispy grilled cheese on a cold winter day? Get our soup over here. Take a quick look at it. Oh yeah. Nice and steamy. Woo, that's going to be so good. Just set it on ultra low while we start to plate up. So, just to make it fancy, we're going to take our grilled cheese and cut them in half. Just like that. Put them on our plate. You know, like in the diner would do. And there we have it. Ooh, that's looking fine. Now, let's plate up some soup. We gotta get some ladles. Got our ladle right here. Let's ladle some up. That'll do for a start. Right there. So what do y'all think? Does that bring back memories? Now, I know the lighting's not too good in my little old country kitchen. So let me bring you over here and let you take a look. There you have it, folks. That creamy tomato bisque, tomato soup, all seasoned up, thyme, basil, little bit of touch of garlic and onion powder, and our crispy American grilled cheese. A winter meal that brings back the memories of when we were growing up and things were better than maybe they are now. So let's sit on down and enjoy our meal before it gets cold. There's a little more in the pan for those of you who'd like a taste too. Ooh, Gracie, it may be simple, but I think it's going to be so delicious. And it's going to warm us up. Well, there you are, friends and family. Well, you can see what we're having for a late night dinner tonight on this cold, chilly winter eve. I hope it'll bring back some memories to you. Let me know if your mama and grandmamas made you up some Campbell's tomato soup and grilled cheeses too when you were growing up. And do you still do it every so often, like I do? So hey, until we see you on that next episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood, y'all take care, stay safe, stay warm. And may God bless you all as you bless those in your lives. We love you for stopping by and all that you do. It makes our life better too. Ooh, I'm hungry. So goodbye for now. Yeah, Gracie, you've already had your dinner. Papa's got to turn off the stove and take this on out to the table and enjoy. Later, all.